Hi, it's Donnée Patrese, and I'm here with another video on how to start a novel. But today I'm going to talk about NaNoWriMo. It is NaNoWriMo, it is upon us. It is November 2nd today that I'm recording this video. So we're already a couple days into November. If you don't know what NaNoWriMo is, it stands for National Novel Writing Month. And that basically is for writers to just start tackling that novel. So this is really, really important to me. And I, want you to use the tips that I've given you previously to go ahead and tackle NaNoWriMo. So NaNoWriMo basically is participants, those who dare take on the challenge, have to begin working on a goal of 50,000 words for this month by 11:59 November 30th. So basically by November 30th, you have to have completed 50,000 words. Take a breath. So that might seem like a really big challenge to take on 50,000 words, but most novels, depending on your genre, can be up to 80,000 to 90,000 words. So basically you're just tackling the hard part, really. You're tackling the nuts and guts of this novel by getting 50,000 words done. So that might not be a complete novel. It may be a complete novel. You may be able to do more than that in the time frame, but the goal is 50,000 words by November 30th. So rumor has it that some people have gone on to publish these novels. Quite a few people have published their novels that they've written during NaNoWriMo time. And those have also just been using those 50,000 words to branch off into other ideas. I would say like the first time I did NaNoWriMo, I basically did 50,000 words. So I completed it, yay me. And I took those 50,000 words and I used them to create an even better novel. So that got me started. And then I used that to go on to as kind of like a blueprint to write another novel. So I didn't publish that 50,000 word novel per se, but I used that to basically jumpstart me into a novel that to me was even better. Today I wanted to talk about some keys to if you are tackling NaNoWriMo this month. I just want to give you some tips and some keys to make it as successful as possible to get you as close to that 50,000 words as you can. So I would say the key to NaNoWriMo is to just write. Just focus on the writing. No editing, no second guessing, no going back and redoing a couple pages. No, you're just writing and you're just flowing. It's something that I advocate when you're writing a novel, period, to just write. No need to go back and edit, or I got to edit this chapter right now, this very second. No, the editing will come later and you'll have plenty of time to do that. So I know 50,000 words for the month can be broken down to about estimate of about 1,667 words a day, something like that. You do the math. I'm not that great at math. I write. So, but I believe it's about that for the day, and which is pretty doable. It sounds crazy, but it's doable. I've done it before, like I said, and that many words a day, I can do about, if I'm really focused and I'm really passionate about, I'm in the zone, I can do about, I would say 2,500 words a day. So I think that is a very doable thing. It's breaking down. The only key difference is that you have to write every day. This is a writing every day challenge, which is something a lot of writers like to engage in because we wish that we could write every day. And this is just that push to say, here, you can do it, write every day. And so I don't always write every day. So November, I try to use that month to basically jump in and get started writing. So I'm committing to completing a good portion of my novel this month. I'm not, per se, doing completely NaNoWriMo because I am doing two things at once. I am editing an entire novel and I'm trying to write at least a lot of another novel. So it's going to be hard for me to engage in NaNoWriMo this time around, though I have done it in the past. But I just want to give you some tips that I used to basically win NaNoWriMo to complete 50,000 words in 1 month. So tip number 1 that I'll give is be comfortable when you write. Get comfortable. So if you like writing in pajamas, do that. If you like writing fully dressed and your whole thing make you feel a little more professional, like you're getting things done, do that. If you like to write with a lot of noise, like I personally like to write with the TV on, music playing, something like that. While I write, I can't have it completely quiet. For some reason, my brain will go on tangents and I can't focus. So I like to write with a little bit of noise, not too much, but just like a TV playing in the background or some music playing in the background. So I do that. But some people like it completely quiet. Some people like not to hear a sound when they're writing because they need to be able to focus and hear themselves think. That's not me, but that's majority of writers I've heard really like to have it quiet when they write. If you like to just straight go to the computer, do that. Like me, I write longhand. I write basically, I need a piece of paper, I need a notebook, and that's how I write a chapter out. And then I can type it up. So if you like to do that, do that. It's just whatever makes you comfortable. Make sure that a tip of mine, and I give this tip on many occasions, is to outline. Just doing it before November starts. So like the last week of October, I would start to outline the novel that I want to get started on, and then start writing that novel in November. But let's say you're a couple days late and you still want to get your outline done. That's doable. If you still want to get that outline done, even once November starts, you can still do that. Take day 1, outline it out, and then you still have 29 days left to get that novel out or get that 50,000 words. And I love outlining because I feel like it helps my brain to go like, oh yeah, that's what I meant to do. Oh yeah, that's what I meant to do. Especially when you're trying to get as many words done in 1 month. I feel like outlining is key. Another thing is be prepared to never see your family for this entire month. I joke and then I don't joke. Because the month that I did NaNoWriMo, I literally was alone the entire time. Because when you write, your writing is kind of a solo job. So I say kind of, it is a solo job. You're doing this. So you tend to be a little isolated in November because you're trying to focus on getting your 50,000 words. And I remember when I did it, my kids were like, Mom, you want to play with us? And I'm like, no, I'm like behind. I need to do this. But, that's where time management comes in. You're going to need a lot of time management. And that's my next tip is time management skills are important with NaNoWriMo because a lot of us work in full-time jobs and not necessarily this is your first novel or you've written novels before, but for a lot of us, this isn't our full-time job. So you might need to go work 8 hours a day and then come home and get those 1,600 words done. And that might take a lot out of you because writing is mentally draining. You're putting a lot onto that paper, basically. Or like me, I'm a mom, I have 3 kids and I'm trying to cook dinner and take care of them and help with homework and do all that stuff. So it may be some late nights. So you might want to basically work on time management for that and just try to take those time out. And that brings me to my next tip, which is basically, I would say take time to focus on writing and just writing. So during the day when my kids are in school, I take that time to say, okay, I'm going to give myself 2 or 3 hours to get this 1,600 words done. And I have the time for that. I can take those 3 hours and say, hey, I'm going to focus on nothing but writing these 3 hours. I let whoever knows around me. Let's say I can't do it during the day and I need to do it in the evening. I let everybody know these next 3 hours I need to focus and it's going to be nothing but writing. So if I have to delegate tasks to my family, to people, to get things done, I do that. And I just set that time aside to focus. So I would suggest every day doing a to-do list and saying, this is the things I need to get done. This is the time I have to write. And then do that. So like today I have to do some laundry. I have to do this. I have to run errands. I have to take care of, doctor's appointments, things like that, bills. I set the time aside for that. And I set time aside for writing to get that done. I would say another tip is, like I said before, completely forget editing. Don't focus on editing. I mean, you might have a time where you say, oh, I spelled this word wrong, and you go back and correct that. That's different than going back and completely editing a chapter. You just want to focus on the writing and forget editing at this point. Because right now we're trying to get to 50,000 words. And yes, we want it to be a quality 50,000 words, but you're going to have plenty of time to edit, December, January, February. You're gonna have plenty of time to edit this novel because you're trying to get one done in an entire month. So let's focus on that. So yeah, NaNoWriMo is fun. I really enjoy doing it, and I suggest that if this isn't your first novel, even if it's not your first novel, if it's your first novel, I say go for it because it's fun and it's that motivation, that kick in the butt you may need to get started. This month, I'm focusing on writing. I may not get 50,000 words. I may actually get 50,000 words. Because like I said, I am completing an entire novel and I'm trying to edit an entire novel. 50,000 words, if you really want to do it, you can do it. Trust me. It is very doable. It is very fun. And I feel like you will feel very accomplished when it's all over. November 30th or December 1st, you're going to feel like, wow, I did this. So if you get stuck, if you get discouraged, if you feel like you need some help or some writing assistance, remember, I have a series here on YouTube, How to Start a Novel, and I have tons of videos on ways to get rid of writer's block on character development, dialogue, and genre. And I feel like they will definitely help you this month because you're gonna probably need a lot of help to get that 50,000 words done. And I'm here for you. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you're new to this channel. Also, hit the bell notification button so that you can be notified of any new videos that I post. And follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, as well as check out my books on Amazon. Okay, so happy NaNoWriMo, good luck, and I'll see you at the end of this month. Bye.